I came to farming fairly recently, about 4 years or so ago. I grew up on a property in upstate New York where we had some chickens for laying eggs, but never any livestock to speak of. And I don't have farming in my background. So for me, farming was always this far off pursuit that required expertise that I could never have. Turns out that you actually can have that. It's just you have to take a little different route to get there. And in this video today, I want to tell you how I started raising pigs and also why you might want to consider that too if you're interested in anything related to agriculture and farming. I'm Steven, and this is Rowan Ridge Farm, talking to you from the Hackett Swamp Meat Locker in the free state of New Hampshire. Initially, we didn't start off with pigs. We just started off with a big empty property. The land was pretty rugged here, and it had overgrown with some weeds and some less desirable plant forages that I wanted to remove. But I didn't have a tractor when we first moved in because we had put all of our resources into acquiring the property. So secondary assets like tractors and farming implements were nowhere in the budget. I was a beef guy and I wanted beef. And I said, we need to have good forage out there to raise beef. But in order to do that, we have to clear the land and improve it. So I'm going to get some pigs out there, have them clear everything down, turn it over, and then I'll send them to the freezer and plant everything. And then we'll wind up moving cows onto that land. And then we can have beef once we've gotten the land initially squared away. I got a breeding pair as part of my first 4 animals. And I started off with 4 pigs. The day that I brought them home from the farm, nobody had told me, hey, this is how you set up a weaning pen for your animal. So I got them out of the back of my SUV and I had electric fence set up with some little posts that go in the ground and had it turned on. The fence was hot. I put the animals onto the ground. They immediately all walked up to the fence. They stuck their face into it and it hit them like on the top of their head. And so you heard the little pop and they squeaked and they went forward right through the fence. And I just saw $800 vanish in an instant. And there goes my animals. And of course, I'm in hot pursuit. Some of them went up the hill into the woods. Some of them went down to the road. And I'm thinking, great, not only did I just lose $800 worth of livestock literally on day one, but now I'm going to have these animals destroying everybody's shrubs and flowers and gardens all around. And I have no way to chase these animals down. But I said, if it's the death of me, I'm going to do it. So I chased the boar down the road. He was the one that took the most obvious path. So he's the one who got followed. I chased him down the road until I was nowhere near catching him for that matter, until he just ducked off into the bushes. And I said, okay, I'm going to have to figure something else out. The next morning, I'm getting ready to go to work, and I said, let me just go out and check and see if maybe they might have come back, because I figured they literally just got here. Why would they know to come back? But they did. I tiptoe around the back of the barn, and I see this little piggy pile with 3 of the 4 pigs lying there in a pile, and they're asleep. Now, the boar, I didn't see him in the pile, and so I said, all right, I can get one of them. I know he's going to start fussing, and then the rest are going to wake up, and they're going to flee immediately. But I'm going to make sure I get a good grab on the first one. So the smallest one, I grabbed him by the leg, picked him up, and I had a little dog crate there, tossed him in the dog crate, closed the door. And before I went to work, I put some food and water in there for him. Of course, since I had researched all the mistakes that I had made, I built a pen out of hog panels around that would actually like contain them, which is what I should have done the first time. And I left the gate open so that the others would eventually, hopefully, come back. And I scattered some corn around where he was sitting in his crate, inside and out of his crate. So he had food, he had water, and then there was corn around the outside. And when I came back from work, lo and behold, all 4 piglets, all in the pen. I walked up, shut the gate, secured all the hog panels, and now I'm a pig farmer, and I'm here to tell you about it on YouTube. But the time that I spent with those 4 animals quickly turned into 6 animals, which turned into 10 animals, because I love pigs. At the end of the day, they are very capable of being passive-aggressive pains in the ass, and I hate them sometimes, even often for some of them. But there is something about them. They are food, but until they are food, I treat them like they are friends as much as I possibly can, because I really do like them. Winston Churchill said, A cat will treat you like its servant. A dog will treat you like its master, but pigs will treat you like an equal. That is very true. I found that to be the case, and I have vastly enjoyed the time that I've spent raising pigs. I did eventually try raising some beef, and I may try again, but at the end of the day, I just don't like cows. I don't dislike them. They're not bad animals. I actively dislike goats. Like, fuck goats. I hate goats. They're terrible. I hate goats. Cows, they're not terrible, but I just don't like them. They're just kind of boring. But pigs, they all have their own little personality, and you get to know them for better or worse. And I would highly recommend for somebody who's looking to produce a little protein, very cost effective, easy to manage. They are not a nightmare. You just have to make sure that you place the appropriate emphasis on the right type of infrastructure in the right places at the right times, and they will be very docile and straightforward to manage. And if they get out, they're generally, if you have a good relationship with them and they're not afraid of you and they look at you as somebody that they know is going to provide them with back scratches, tummy rubs, and tasty food, it's not too hard to say, hey, you know what, come on back over here, rattle a bucket full of feed. They'll come back over and you can kind of put them back in if they do get out from time to time. But that's my story of how I got into raising pigs. Are you thinking about pigs? Why haven't you done it yet? Let me know in the comments, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you on the next video.